Vanakkam. Today we are going to see another very interesting circular issued by Reserve Bank of India with reference to check clearing. This rule comes into effect from 4/10/2025. We are going to see the RBI circular in detail. So before going to the presentation, I want to give my disclaimer. The views expressed by me here is my view and on my own understanding. I am not responsible for any wrong interpretation or misunderstanding by the viewers. And I request you to please refer the RBI circular for clear understanding. With this disclaimer, I am starting my today's presentation. It is applicable. That is, this circular, the RBI has introduced for continuous clearing and settlement on realization in CTS, that is, check truncation system. And for this, I have given the presentation based on the RBI circular SOS S02526/73 CO.DPS SRLPD number 2536470001 2025-26 dated 13/8/2025. Please refer this circular for this check clearing latest procedures. This is a very good circular that RBI has introduced for the benefit of the customers. And this circular is issued to all the banks participating in CTS or National Payment Corporation of India. And this circular is effective from 4/10/2025. And two phases they were introduced. That is up to 2/1/2026, then from 3/1/2026. For this clearing, they have introduced two phases. And the present system, what is the present system of clearing? The rule says the customer has to go to the bank and present the check or DD for collection, and the bank has received the check and it is scanning the check and send the scanned images to the clearing house before evening of the day on which the check is presented for clearing, and the clearing house during the process send the scanned images to the drawing bank, that is on the next day, and the drawing bank has to give the advice whether it's a positive or negative, that is whether the customer is having the balance or not, whether the drawing bank approves the payment or not, and the advice is being given to the clearing house by the drawing bank. And after that, the clearing house has advised the bank which has presented check about the fate of the check, either on the same day or on the second day morning. So then only the funds have been credited to the customer's account in case if the check is being approved by the drawing bank. So there's a delay of 2 days. So in order to come out of this delay, the RBI has introduced this new system, that is a single presentation session from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That is, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. you can present the check. It's a continuous. So the bank immediately on receipt of the checks between 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., that is every 1 hour, that is my understanding, the bank has to send the check to the clearing house after scanning those checks, and the clearing house on receipt of the check, scanned images, then they are forwarding that to the drawing bank on continuous basis. This is what they say, use the word on continuous basis. But here they say that you have to have a single presentation per day. That means for the same check, you are not supposed to do the presentation for 2 times or 3 times on the same day. Only single presentation is allowed on 1 day, and the presentation has to be done on continuous basis. So the confirmation session starts from 10 a.m. and it closes at 7 p.m. So this is the time that has been fixed by the RBI. Confirmation check, that is whenever you are presenting the check, it has to be done after 10 a.m. but closes the confirmation by 7 p.m. For every check presented by the drawing bank, the drawing bank has to give the confirmation whether the check, scanned check have been honored or dishonored. That confirmation has to be clearly mentioned by the drawing bank to the clearinghouse. So whenever the check is presented, then there's an expiry time. That is within this time, the confirmation is required. And this has to be mentioned by the uh, bank which presented the check, but latest time has to be confirmed by the drawing bank. That is before this time, the drawing bank has to give the confirmation. So drawing bank has to process the day, process the check continuously throughout the day on real-time basis as soon as check images. So that is, it is a part of the banking business. So it is not one-time presentation. For every hour, you have to do the do the confirmation of clearing checks. Then after that, the drawing bank has to send the confirmation to the clearing house, whether it's a positive confirmation or negative confirmation. Then the drawing bank has to send the confirmation to the clearinghouse. Then clearinghouse in turn they send the confirmation to the bank which has presented the check. So now they have introduced two phases. So it's a slowly they change the system from the present system to the new system. So they have introduced two systems. One is phase one and second one is phase two. Phase one starts from 4/10/2025 to 2/1/26. Then after 3/1/26, it is continuous. So for this to phase one, we are going to have a discussion first because this is the first thing we have to face. So the drawing bank has to send the confirmation to the clearing house, that is positive or negative. Then all the confirmation has to be done by 7 p.m. on the same day. That is the expiry time. The RBI has fixed at 7 p.m. for the phase one. This is it for the phase one. So clearing time is up to 7 p.m. For phase two, that is now the system is accustomed. Now they are going to the next stage. That is from 3/1/26. Then the item expiry time of the check has been changed to transaction plus 3 clearing hours. 3 clearing hours. So this is very much important. So whenever any check is presented between 10 to 11 a.m., for example, 10 to 11 a.m., from 11 a.m., it is 3 hours. So 11, 12, 1, 2. So before 2, the drawing bank has to give the confirmation whether it is a positive or not. So they say that every hour. So 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 12 to 1. In that manner, you have to calculate. This is a positive image. And in case if the confirmation is not given or provided by the drawing bank in T plus 3 clearing hours. So that means it is applicable only for the phase 2. In case if it is not done, it is not done by the drawing bank in T plus 3 clearing hours. That is, it has to be deemed to be taken that the check is honored. That then the bank which has presented the check for clearing has to take the settlement in positive manner. So the time is 3T plus 3 clearing hours. If it is not confirmed, then it is deemed to be taken as the honored check. So now, based on the reading, there is some clarification is also required. This is my view. That is, in case if the bank time closes by 4 p.m., normally bank time will end by 4. Then after that, they will carry out only the day-end process. So no transaction will take place after 4 p.m. So if you add 4 plus 3 p.m., 3 hours, then it goes to 7. So some clarification has to be required. This is from my side. Whether in case if it is not done, suppose the check is sent for collection to the drawing bank by 4 p.m. So the drawing bank office hour closes by 5 p.m. So if you add 3 hours, so it goes to 7 p.m. beyond the banking hours, whether this deemed provision is applicable or not. For that also, according to me, a clarification is required. And suppose sometimes there is a problem in this banking software. sometimes due to some network issue, some other problem, the player there'll be some problem in processing the check. What is the remedy that has to be clearly mentioned? And sometimes there will be a strike in the bank. So what is the fate if any transaction that took place during the strike period? So this is my view. Some clarification is put on understanding on reading the circular. I have found out this clarification stage. And now the settlement, how to settlement. So whenever a check is presented for clearing, no accounting entry is required, and the starting time starts from 11 a.m. and for every hour till the confirmation session is settled will be arrived at. So every hour, so that means they clearly mentioned that every hour, so the checks received between 10 to 11, end time is 11. 11 to 12, end time is 12. So in that manner, you have to do it. And whether positive confirmation or negative confirmation is there or not, that the drawing bank has to give the confirmation to the clearing house. For negative confirmation also, there is no accounting entry is required. To present the check, no accounting entry. Positive confirmation, accounting entry is required. For negative confirmation, no accounting entry is required. Now, the settlement is over. That is the clearing. Drawing bank said, yes, everything is correct. You can make the payment or don't make the payment due to insufficient funds. So the drawing bank has to inform the clearing bank. Then in turn, the clearing house, they have to inform the bank which has presented the check for clearing. In case of positive confirmation, if it is received from the drawing bank through clearing house, then the payment has to be made immediately to the customers. So there should not be any delay, but not later than 1 hour from the successful review. That means within on receipt of the confirmation of check payment, that is honored payment, within 1 hour, the bank which has presented check for clearing has to give the credit to the customer's account. It's a very good move. But they say that you have to carry out this, credit and subject to usual safeguards. This is a qualification given in the RBI circular. The general information about this circular, I want to say here is the date of issue. The drawer of the check has to, on the date of issue, that is the date which mentioned in the check. On that day, the person who has issued the check must have sufficient balance in the account. So this is very, very important. So that means indirectly, RBI said you should have sufficient balance, then only you should issue the check. So with for this proper planning is required for the check issue. That is, otherwise, the person who has issued a check will be caught by the provisions of section 138 of Negotiable Instrument Act. Only once you have to present the check. Though it is, they say that it's a continuous process, then only once the check has to be issued and not for every hour. So it is a duty of the bank which has presented check for clearing only once. You can fix the time. You can request the bank, sir, you present the check between 12 to 1 or 1 to 2, because after contacting the party, only after sufficient balance, the check has to be presented. But you have to remember that only once you have to present the check. And it will be very useful to the customers because on the same day, they receive the money and they need not wait for some other day. And a separate staff is required. This is also another view of me, that to process this clearing checks, a separate staff is required or separate staff time is required for this. So in case if the checks have been returned due to insufficient balance, then chance of section 138 of Negotiable Instrument Act will be more in this system. So this is my view, and it's a welcome move by the customers because the Reserve Bank has given a very good help to the customers, because the customers on receipt of the check, on the same day he will receive the money, or on the same day they know the fact. So this is the information I want to say about this circular, and I wish you all the best for the members. Please go through the RBI circular carefully, and it is going to be a very big responsibility for all the bankers. So this is my view, and please refer the RBI circular for clear understanding. I am very much thankful for you to view this program, and I'm just switching off the program. Thanks for watching this program. Nandri, Vanakkam.